Spiritual Teaching 141. Love each other. 1. People. I see your struggle and your efforts. I also contemplate your patience to suffer, complying with the lessons from my doctrine. The fight is in all the ways that man has to travel. Understand that not only you have it. Now more than ever you must be strong. Watch and pray, and at the dawn of each dawn be with me, and I will illuminate in that instant, so that my light will accompany you in all the works that you are going to execute on that day. 2. It doesn't matter that you don't have words or ideas to form a sentence. To me it is enough for me that you raise your thoughts towards infinity, because I will know to interpret the language of your heart. 3. The spiritual struggle of this time. You see it reflected in many homes. Marriages that do not share the same ideas. Some in which the man follows me, others in which it is the woman who drags everything to follow me full of faith, while the companion hurts her at every step with his mockery and disbelief. Many times when they are together in their bedroom, their spirits, they live distant from each other. The attentions and tenderness of other times have given way to violent words and hurtful phrases. Then the flame of faith, which burns in the heart, trembles whipped by the tempest of passions and the exalted feelings. 4. There are homes in which children, some in their childhood and others in their youth, are impressed by witnessing this struggle between their parents, and they also feel that uneasiness, doubt, rises in their hearts, and they wonder, who is it? Who should I agree with? Who will be the possessor of the truth? Who of them should I follow, and by which advice should I guide myself? 5. This fight is bitter and painful, but it had to arise between you, because you were not prepared to understand my new lessons. The same thing happened in the secondary in the bosom of families, because while some of their members gave their lives assuring that Jesus, the Christ, was the Messiah, others denied all truth and yearned to see that their doctrine will be exterminated. 6. To you who come to listen to me, who have this battle in your home, I tell you, take the light from my doctrine, so that you have a necessary tact to act wisely. May there be charity in your heart. May intelligence and your actions of love guide you in your home, that you take strength in my word, so that you have patience in the ordeal that constitutes your restitution. 7. Do not fear, because if you know how to fulfill in the way I am teaching you, you will see wonders work among yours, and there will be times when the most reluctant, when the most incredulous will later become the most fervent. I touch those hearts, granting them the proof that is necessary for them to believe. 8. Do not cry, people, overcome this test with love. For the patience and faith with which you endure it will be your reward. 9. Conclude by understanding that you all love the same God, and do not quarrel over the difference in the way that one and the other do as you have been doing. It is necessary that you come to understand that there are beings in which beliefs, traditions, and customs have taken such deep roots that it will not be easy to uproot them the first moment you teach them. Be patient, and over the years you will succeed. 10. There are those who listen to me once, and from that moment surrender to me full of faith. Instead, there are others who come in search of my word, one, another, and many times more, without ever feeling that inner illumination. That is because not all spirits march in unison, because while some are about to feel me, others still need to evolve further and become stronger with the tests that purify the spirit, to understand my revelations. 11. Spiritualism is causing a world battle between ideas, beliefs, and worship. But after this struggle, this doctrine will bring to men the blessed peace that they need so much, and it will make the light of my divine justice shine on all spirits. 12. This stage of light, which has been my spiritual communication, will go unnoticed by many. However, signs and events that are too clear will remain as an indelible mark that marks two important events for humanity. the beginning and the end of my communication, for men to study, investigate, and finally come to accept that the Lord was once again among them. I will prepare my children to form the book that will contain my word and lessons, which will become a torrent of crystalline water, a river of life that comes to quench the thirst for spirituality and the hunger for light of this humanity. 13. Now that 2 ages have passed over you and the third is beginning, I come in spirit in search of your fruit. And in the silence of your heart, I hear you say to me, Father, how little can we present to you of good, and how little we have moved ahead in the way. The time is short in which I will continue speaking to you in this way, and you must hasten your step and improve your works, because the congregations are waiting for your example. The crowds are willing to follow and imitate you, but you must testify with your works of love to be believed. 14. Study my teachings thoroughly and analyze my orders, so that when the moment comes you will rise up in pursuit of the paths that your mission points out to you, and you can make those who have parked come out of their lethargy, and at the same time you can save the one who is lost at the crossroads. I want you to know the path before walking it. Didn't I tell you that my word is the way? Well, listen to me and study. 15. Nobody is going to get up by tracing the path at will, or creating laws or altering my mandates, because they will go to the abyss along with those it seduces. 16. If you have the conviction and the faith that you are the Lord's people, which time has crossed through the desert of this life, do not forget the law for a moment. Do not be unfaithful to your father, and do not lose the path that leads to the goal he is pursuing for your spirit, the one you call the promised land, and which is the abode of perfect light where I wait for you. 17. Who can say that he is weak when he receives my strength at every moment? Who can say he's hungry when so many times has he sat down to eat the bread of true life at my table? You all have inheritance, gifts, and if you sometimes feel weak or poor, it is because you still have little faith. Reluctant is your flesh to show how much good the Spirit brings, but instead, how easily it lets the bad reflect inclinations or the insane tendencies that the Spirit harbors. Check this in the children, who by themselves tear the veil of their innocence or are rebellious against good deeds. Not all those who return to earth arrive purifying. There are those who need to drink the bitterest cups that life offers in its lessons, and endure the hardest tests so that they bend, soften, and convert. 18. The world will shake with the light of my new revelations, and men will know the truth. 19. When I speak to you as Father, it is the book of the law that opens before you. When I speak to you as a Master, it is the book of love which I show my disciples. When I speak to you as the Holy Spirit, it is the book of wisdom that illuminates with his teachings and that forms a single doctrine, because it comes from only one God. 20. The day that this communication will cease is near. That is why I spread my word widely so that the people stay strong and ready. 21. All of you can say that in this time you have seen me, some with the heart, others with the mind, and others with the spirit. When you have recreated yourself with my divine teachings, you have seen me. When you attend the fulfillment of any of my prophecies, you have looked at me. And when you feel in your being the presence of spiritual communications, you have contemplated. I have allowed myself to be looked at in different ways, so that you can bear witness to my coming in this third era. Did you think that the only way to see me was with the eyes of your body? Before the spiritual, your material eyes are the more limited way of seeing. Did you think that it was essential to see me as a man, as the world saw me in the second era, so that you could say, I have seen him? No, disciples. The Spirit feels more perfectly than the heart, mind, or senses, and he is the one who has understood me. My word gives birth to the truth to some, and to others resurrects to true life, because materialism is death. 22. The book of knowledge opens to reveal to you how many gifts and attributes you possess, many of them still unknown to you. 23. You know that I have come to give you one more of my lessons, and then send you to give the good news to humanity. Do you hope to penetrate the heart of one of your brothers, without knowing what is heart and what is spirit? How so long ago, you were inherited by the Father and you still do not know what your spirit possesses. But the era has finally arrived of spirituality for humanity. Everything ignored will be known. The hidden will come to light, and all mystery will remain clarified, because the Spirit of truth is pouring out on all spirit and all flesh. 24. When men know spiritually who they are and their origin, they will not have enough tears to mourn the faults that, out of ignorance and pride, their reluctance made them commit. But after purification, my cloak of forgiveness will cover the world and a new era will begin. Don't you think that when light is made in the lives of men and illuminate your consciousness, will there be a change in your life? Yes, because tribulations, wars, everything that afflicts some and loses to others, it is for lack of spiritual light. 25. O people, the day is coming when I will stop speaking to you in this way. Take advantage of my teachings so that you can resist the whirlwinds that threaten you. Men will come to you to ask for proof that you spoke with Christ and that from him you received your lessons. 26. You go leafing through the book of my teaching in which the law, the prophecies and my word given through the time. Everything will remain in the end engraved in your spirit. This is the inheritance that I leave you. Try, experiment and study my work. Analyze it. When you have discovered and known its essence, you will feel immensely loved by the Father and you will love me too. 27. If your brothers murmur because of having come to my call, close your ears and be silent. They are innocent. Yes, you even take this cause to judge them. Alas, for you, because you have already been illuminated by the light of your consciousness and you know what you are doing. 28. I am the judge of all spirits, and I know who truly loves me. Not everyone who calls me Father is with me. Many of those who proclaim that they are my chosen and that they are serving me have not understood me. You can deceive each other, but me, who can deceive me? 29. I have taught you equality, love, humility. If your destiny apparently it is different, the purpose that I have indicated to all is the truth. 30. Be guided by your conscience. It will always speak to you with justice, and you will know if you are within the law. If you have done worthy deeds to offer to your Father. I love the pure, and if you want to please me, be clean. 31. There will come a time when the world will charge you, ask you for powerful works that speak of your great gifts. And if you are not prepared, many will deny me like Peter and will say that they never heard me, that they did not know me. And you know that for a long time my word has been your food and comfort. 32. What have you asked me that I did not grant you? I have given you many proofs of love to encourage your faith. Blessed are the meek and humble, who know how to accept the trials of their lives without despair. 33. Analyze my word, feel it and practice it, so that your faith is stronger every day. 34. People, pray before Mary. She is the divine tenderness made woman in the second era, purity misunderstood by the materialized humanity, virginity that cannot be analyzed by the minds of men and that can only be felt for the one who purifies herself in her feelings. 35. The mantle of your celestial mother has overshadowed the world from eternity, covering with love my children whom are hers. Mary, the Spirit, was not born into the world. Her maternal essence has always been from me. 36. She is the wife of my purity, of my holiness. She is my daughter when she becomes a woman, and my mother when she conceives the incarnate Word. 37. The Master tells you, you have taken great care of yourselves, and for the same reason you have forgotten others. It is necessary that you leave your indifference to the pain and the needs of others and shed your selfishness. 38. When pain appears on your path, prepare to receive it. When you look very closely at the proof, pray as Jesus did in the garden on the eve of his death and say like him, "My Father, if it were possible to take this cup away from me, but before your will be done and not mine. Watch, my children, that if you prepare yourself, on many occasions I will separate from your lips the cup of bitterness. But if you had to drink it, by your conformity and submission to my divine will, I will put on strength to come forward." 39. Do not forget that pain purifies, and that when it is rushed with love and elevation, not only washes your own stains, but even those of others. 40. Offer me your pain, and it will not be sterile. How much useless pain there has been among mankind. But he who will suffer until the end of his restitution and to carry his cross, he has reached the top of the mountain when he believed he would fall forever. 41. The world by your prayers and merits in trials has not reached the peace it should receive, because when you are under these, you only think of yourselves to lament and rebel, instead of praying before me and saying to me, "If one only of my fellow men can reach an atom of peace for the bitter chalice that I rush, with what satisfaction I will drink to the last drop." And the Master tells you, whoever prays and feels like this will make his love reach to benefit many of your brothers. 42. People, apparent peace has been made in the nations, but you do not proclaim that peace has come. Close your lips. True peace cannot be built on foundations of fear or material convenience. Peace has to be born of love, of brotherhood. 43. Men are building on sand and not on rock, and when the waves stir again, they will whip those walls and the building will come to the ground. 44. I have proposed my peace to men through consciousness, to tell them, "Here I am." But they have not wanted to listen to me. Sometimes they act like children and fools. I tell you, they act like children, because they do not reveal in their actions the light that the Spirit gathers in a long evolution. Living in the third era, they have not yet realized what peace is. If your spirit is lethargic, even more so is your heart that does not feel what charity is, nor has it come to vibrate with love for humanity. But a pain more bitter than most will come to them, by which they will wake up, become sensitized. I will not be the one who offers men this chalice, because bitterness cannot exist in me. 45. All the pain caused by men will gather in a single cup that will be drunk by those who originated it, and that they were never moved by pain. Now they will tremble in spirit and flesh. 46. That hour is approaching, when you will see that the peoples are moved by strange and surprising events. You will know of men who were great in the world, and that they will abandon their peoples and nations to seek in the desert, in solitude, peace with their conscience. Others, who have been notable for their hatreds and ambitions, will surprise the world, because suddenly their mouths will speak words of love and peace. It will be because my light will envelop them and my spirit will speak on their lips. 47. Are you already prepared for these events, to find a solution and just explanation to the questions and to take light to troubled or confused minds? 48. I have been preparing you for a long time, and you still cannot be the soldiers of peace. Look at the nations. How little time is enough for them to prepare for war, and how they move even the bowels of the earth. See how the strength of their hatred makes its influence felt even in the most remote places, while you are not capable of making them feel peace. 49. Is hatred stronger than love? Is darkness more powerful than light? Does evil have greater scope than good? No, my children. 50. I am not reprimanding you. I only wake you up with love to tell you that it is not difficult to work in my countryside and that you should persevere in your amendment. When at times you carry the purpose of regenerating, your spirit is recreated and feels closer to me. But temptations stalk your steps and make you fall. 51. Get up definitively. Realize that you are living in a different time from the first and the second, in which material and spiritual elements are stirred everywhere. It is a battle visible only before those who are spiritually prepared, and invisible to those who are not. In this whirlwind, millions of human beings stir the spiritual, some making light, others searching for it, some sowing darkness, others fleeing from it. 52. Woe to him who, seeking the light, falters at this time. Millions of invisible eyes contemplate you to make you fall. I want you to be the good seed that comes to invade the fields where the weeds have grown. Like a seed that overflows, so evil advances and envelops heart by heart. Its impure waters penetrate the homes, in the heart of childhood, in the mind of youth, in the purest of women. Your noblest institutions are desecrated, the most sacred also. In the meantime, what are you doing? Are you also one of the blind who do not you realize? Are you going to lock yourself in your selfishness to find a little peace for your heart? Are you going to enclose between the four walls of your bedroom so as not to hear the noise of war or the lamentations of men? 53. You will not say that the Master did not speak to you in prophecy, when you see the time I announced to you arrive. But before peace be made between humanity, fire will burn the weeds of the entire face of the earth. The waters unleashed, they will wash, and the snows will purify. 54. Alert, disciples. Be prepared so that they do not surprise you, because you will be fought with words, with deeds, and through books. Weapons and calumnies will be prepared against you. You will also witness a battle of ideas, doctrines, and theories. Theologians will try to scrutinize beyond where they have scrutinized. Philosophers will launch new ideas in the world. Men of science will proclaim their knowledge as the only truth. Fanatics of religions will rise up in groups to throw themselves against each other. 55. That will be the time for which you must be prepared, because your voice will be the only one that is heard serene and aware. 56. Do you see how much I claim? Do you see how small you are and how many blemishes and imperfections you still have? Well, you will serve me, and your offering will be pleasant and fragrant before my divinity. 57. The tabernacle, the ark, and the law are in your heart. 57. The tabernacle, the ark, and the law are in your heart. To you, for being humble, I will reveal what the wise men have not yet come to understand. 58. People. At this time you return like the prodigal son to the house of the Father. I have received you, and I have told you. You are the firstborn, but in your absence your other brothers were disintegrated. I was left alone, and in my loneliness I cried. Now you have returned, and I say to you, sit at the table. There are the loaves, the fruits, and the wine. You then have wept for your ingratitude and disobedience, recognizing that you have been the pariah among other peoples who did not receive what you did. You have begged that your gifts be returned to you, and your wealth has been returned to you. 59. I have made you recognize that in the disunity of humanity you have a great responsibility. Then I have entrusted you with one sword of love so that with it you may bend those who motivate fratricidal wars and bring them before my presence. 60. Your mission is one of peace, fraternity, and spirituality. I do not come to claim your heart, his present works, but to remind your spirit of his past, and give him to understand the sublime mission that awaits you in eternity. My peace be with you.